Let's talk about percentages today. We're going to talk about percent increase and then percent decrease. So when we have a percent increase, percent of increase, the new value is going to be higher than the original value, right? When we have a percent of decrease, the new value is going to be less than the original value. So how do we calculate a percent of increase or decrease? The way in which we do it, right, to calculate percent of change, we need to do, first of all, new value minus original value, okay? But now, suppose, something went from $10 to $7, right? So now this is the new value. So if you do new minus original, will you get a positive or a negative number? Negative, right? If you do 7 minus 10, you get negative. But you shouldn't get a negative number. That's why we have these absolute values. So that you do 7 minus 10, you get negative 3, but then you just take the 3. Another way of looking at it is, how much difference is there between 10 and 7? 3, right? And then we can just take that and then just mentally know it's decrease or increase, okay? So basically we want to take the difference between the old and the new value. Divide that by the original value, that's a ratio, equals P over 100, and what we're solving for is P. So you're always going to set up a proportion. Okay, so let's take a look here. State whether each of the following is a percent increase or decrease, then find the percent of change. Round to the nearest whole percent. So take a look here. A jacket whose original price was 50 now sells for 45. So first of all, is this a percent increase or decrease? Decrease. Bless you. Okay, so now take a look. We're going to create a proportion. All right? And this is going to be P over 100. Here, I'm going to write the difference. The difference between the two is 50 and 45, right? So that's a difference of 5 over the original, which is how much? How much is the original? 50. And so that's my proportion. Yeah. I like P because it's like percent, right? So it reminds us what it is. So now, let's cross multiply because it's a proportion. 50P equals 500. Now, divide by 50. Divide by 50.
How does it equal 500?
So P equals 100. No, sorry.
Oh, I'm
P equals 10.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, P equals 10. And so, so this is the percentage. P is 10. This is the percentage. So here I'm going to say percent decrease is 10%. Okay? All right. Here we have a house valued at $700,000 10 years ago, and now valued at $950,000. So what I want to do now is I want to set up a proportion. Okay. Here it's going to be P over 100. But here I want the difference, right? Okay, so it's 950,000. Let me see what the difference is. Okay, the difference is 250,000. Right? So that's 250,000 over the original. How much is the original? How much is the original? 700,000. So now I've set up my proportion. Okay, let's cross multiply. This is 700,000 P equals 250,000 times 100. So this is 250,000. How many more zeros am I going to add? 2 more zeros. Okay, now what do I do? What do I do now?
Divide by
100,000, yeah. Divide by 700,000. Okay, so now take a look at what happens here. P is, okay, look. When you have a number like this, you can cancel out equal numbers of zeros. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. So that becomes 250 over 7. Okay? 250 over 7. And what I want to do now is I want to plug that into my calculator, right? So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so here, right, press this calculator button. And now we're going to get 250 divided by 7. What happens if you get this? What are you supposed to press? Control Enter. And so this is 35.7, but we had said to round to the nearest percent, so that's 36%. Now, was this one increase or decrease? Increase. So I say 36% increase. Okay? All right. Can you sit up? Okay. So let's take a look at the next one. Original 66, new 30. All right. You can let go of the calculators. So here, let's see what the difference is. 66 minus 30, that's 36. Okay? So, okay, okay? So,
new minus.
Okay, right, new minus old, yes. And then remember that will be negative 36, but we don't want a negative number. So I said you can just basically look, just take the difference, and that's good enough. Okay? So it's 36 over 66 equals P over 100. Basically, just the difference between these two equals, P over 100. Okay, so now let's cross multiply. 66P is equal to 3,600. I divide by 66. So P is, right, let's divide. 3,600 over 66. Control Enter. 54.5, which is how much? 55%. Now, was this increase or decrease? Decrease, because the original was 66. The new is 30. So this is a 55% decrease. Okay? All right. Next, let's talk about sales tax. Okay. All right. So here we go. A sales tax is a tax that's added to the cost of an item, right? So for example, like if you order something at like Starbucks and it's like $5.65, you never just pay $5.65, right? You pay $5.65 plus a little bit more, and that's the sales tax. So to figure out the total that you're gonna pay, right? It's gotta be, the sales tax is, you have to take the original value, multiply by the tax rate, then take the original value again, this time add the sales tax. Okay? All right? So look, here though, tax is usually given as a percentage. So like 25%. Okay? But to use it in your calculations, what are you going to use that as? Not a percent, but a decimal. How do you change that to a decimal? Yeah.
You put a 0 in front so it becomes
Well, okay, so basically we have to divide by 100, which is the same as you find the decimal point. In this case, it's on the edge here. And you have to bring it to the left 2 times. So this will be 0.25. Okay? All right, so let's take a look here what we're going to do. A shirt costs $24.99. What is the total cost if the sales tax is 9.75%? So, first of all, 9.75, I take, look, you know what? Put your calculators away for a minute. Let me show you how I want you guys to write this. We're going to take this, we're going to move it twice to this side. So it's going to be 0.0975. Okay, this is a two-step problem. Number one, I need to figure out how much the tax is. So I take $24.99 times 0.0975. Okay? This goes in my calculator. What do I get? 2 point. How many decimal places should there be? How many decimal places if it's dollars and cents?
Oh, $2.
2 decimal places if it's dollars and cents, right? So that's going to be 2.44. You have to round correctly.
Oh, I think it's 34.
Okay. So it's 2.44.
Oh, it's super.
Okay. So next, now I want to calculate the total. So for the total, look, I take the original amount. This time I want to do plus the new number I just got. Okay? And this is going to be 27.43. Okay. Let's recap. Can I have everybody look up here? Let's recap. You take the original, multiply by the sales tax rate. Then you take the original, this time you add that new number. Okay? All right, let's do it again. We have a computer being sold for $1,199. Tax is 5.25%. So first I want to figure out how much tax there is. So original times, what do I multiply by? 0.0525. Okay? Please, please, please do not do this part in your head. Take the decimal, move it twice. Okay? All right, so how much will this be?
62.95.
Right. Now, for the total, I'm going to take the same original amount that I wrote up here. First I multiplied, now I'm going to add, but I'm going to add the new number. So that's going to be 1,261.95. Okay? So for the discount is the amount by which the regular price of an item is reduced. So for example, suppose I have, like a t-shirt is, whatever, $24. There's a 15% discount on it. How much is it worth now? Okay? All right. So the way in which we find the discount is it starts with the same original times the rate, then the original minus this time that amount. Okay? So let's do this one. The TV discounted, find the discounted price. So we have a TV. The discount is 20%. So again, 2 steps here. The first step is find the discount. You know how before I was finding the tax first, then the total? Now it's going to be the discount and then the total. So it's very, very similar. For the discount, you take 450 and you want to multiply it by the decimal equivalent of this, which is how much? The decimal point, I bring it over twice, so that's 0.20. Okay, go ahead and plug this into your calculator. I'm going to call you at random to give me an answer here. Okay? Okay, did you get an answer, Lior? 90. Then, same as before, right? Whatever the original is, I write the original again. But this time, it's not sales tax, so I need to subtract the 90. And that will be $360. So that's the new price. Okay? Okay. Let's do another one and then I'll take questions. So here we go. First, I need to find the discount. Then I need to find the total. So the shirt is $49 times. I need to multiply by the rate. Okay? Okay, so Asher, how much is the rate here? 0.15. Okay, so go ahead and plug it in. Sammy, did you plug it in? $7.35. So now I get the original amount. Now am I going to do plus or minus? Subtract 735. So that will be 41.65. Okay? All right. So the original price of a golf club is $500. The club is discounted 15% off. And then there is an 8.5% sales tax. So what is the final cost of the golf club? So this is the original. There is a discount 15%. Okay? So this is like multiple parts. All right? So first let's do that. 15% we're going to use as a decimal is 0.15. So first we want to do the discount first. Okay? So there are 2 steps to this. Find the discount, original times the rate. Okay? Yahav, what do you get for this one?
75.
75. Then I want the subtotal, right? So I want to know if it's discounted, what's the price now? So what do I have to do here? First of all, is this next step an addition or a subtraction? Subtraction. 500 minus 75, 425. Okay, that's the first step. Next, I want to do, I want to find next I want to do the tax. So number 1, let's find the tax. It's going to be the 425, right? So now this is the new price. So that's what the tax goes on top of. 425 times how much? 0.085. Okay, that goes from here because that's the sales tax. So that's going to be how much? How much is that going to be? Yeah. 36.13. Okay, now for the total, is this going to be an addition or a subtraction problem? addition, 3613, 425 plus 3613. So that's 461.13, right? So it was originally $500, got discounted to 425, but then I put sales tax on it, so I'm paying 461. Okay, let's do the next one. Okay, the final price of a shirt with 8% sales tax is $44.28. So this is the final price. There is an 8% sales tax, and this is how much I'm paying, right? So it's like you buy a shirt, you go home, and you're like, hey, look, I bought this. It's, and I paid $44.28, right? And your family's like, oh, how much was the shirt? And you're like, ooh, I don't know, right? So we're going to calculate how much the shirt was. Okay, all that is really, really disruptive. Yeah. This is very disruptive, okay? Okay. I would rather you just took notes. Yeah, I know. Okay. All right. So here we go. We want how much was the shirt before? So we want the original price. Okay? All right. So when we were doing tax and stuff, right? So let's go back to tax. Here it is. We split it into two parts, right? But we can combine the two into one, right? What were we doing here? We were basically doing the original times the sales tax, and then what? And then adding it to what? The original, right? So that's what we're going to do. So the total was the original plus the original times the tax rate. Okay, so let's see. Now, we know what the total is. That's the total. Okay? We know what the tax rate is. 8% is 0.08. What I don't know is the original. So for the original, I'm going to call that X. So here, let's put in what I have. 44.28 equals. The original is X plus X times 0.08. Okay? All right, so let's see what that is. That's 44.28 equal to X plus 0.08X. I didn't do any math in going to that step. I just rewrote it more nicely. So now, this is 44.28, and now I need to combine this somehow, right? These are like terms, something X plus something X. So I need to basically add the coefficients, right? The coefficient of this one is 0.08. What's the coefficient of the first X? That's a 1, right? So it's 1x plus 0.08x. That's 1.08x. Okay. So now, divide by 1.08. Divide by 1.08. What's x? Let's put that in your calculators.
Um, 40.97.
40.97. Well, let me see. Is it? So 44.28.
Sorry, I typed it wrong.
Yeah. Divided by 1.08. It's exactly 41. So X is 41. That means the shirt was $41, and then with tax, you paid 44.28. Okay? All right. So with that, you can do the homework for this lesson.